WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. The president of the Lee County Board of Supervisors says he wants to get action taken on the current jail, which is outdated and in need of major repairs.
But the county's top law enforcement officer says he doesn't believe the new board president wants to do what it will take to fix the issues. Allie Martin has more.
Moments after he was elected president of the Lee County Board of Supervisors earlier this month, Tommy Lee Ivey said deciding whether to build a new jail or renovate the existing one was a top priority.
I don't have nothing against jail. We need jail, but we need a good price tag to get a jail.
3 years ago, supervisors turned down a proposal to build a new jail and justice center, saying the cost was too high. Supervisors have looked at the issue many times in recent years. On Thursday morning, board president Tommy Lee Ivey toured the Lee County Jail to get another look at the facility that's faced overcrowding issues since it opened in the mid-1990s. Board President Ivey was set to do an interview with us after his tour of the jail Thursday morning, but he canceled, saying he wants to bring in a consultant to see what the best step is going forward for the jail. In the meantime, Lee County Sheriff Jim Johnson says the county and taxpayers have been down that road before.
I personally think it is a slap in my face and the people of this county for a supervisor to decide at this point in time it's time to come down here and look at the jail. After we've been looking at this 5 years, you've paid a consultant $20,000. We have toured at least 2 other jails, drew up plans of what we need, and now you think it's time to come down here and look at the jail is exactly why we're in the shape that we're in.
Sheriff Johnson says an assault this past weekend by an inmate on a corrections officer is an example of the need for a new facility.
We had an individual that was housed here since October for an armed robbery, and we were having to move him because we had run out of space. We've had several violations on his part with threats, finding shanks in his room, assaults, fights, and things of that nature. So we had moved him up to the holding cell, which was the only place we could, and the bad thing you got it is you're still having to put people in there that are just being brought into the facility. And so Saturday night was a busy night, and you ended up having 2 officers in there with a cell full of about 15 or 20 of them. And that's the environment we work in every day. You can come down here and tour it all day long. You can tour it today or you can tour it tonight, and it's going to be the same problem. It's not going to be any different. It's not going to get any better.
Sheriff Johnson says he is not convinced supervisors want to spend any money to solve the ongoing issue. In Tupelo, Allie Martin, WCBI News.
The sheriff says that the conditions also make it hard to attract and keep quality staff there at the jail.
2 people are arrested in Columbus after a shooting in New Albany. 21-year-old Ladarius Doss of Columbus and 20-year-old Kaylin Chapman of Okolona are both facing charges. New Albany Police Chief Chris Robertson says the duo went to the Walmart to buy a cell phone from a person in the parking lot there in New Albany. Investigators say money was exchanged, but Chapman wanted to cancel the deal. Robertson says the buyer attempted to leave the parking lot and Doss reportedly shot at the victim.
A Tremont woman is dead and her husband clinging to life tonight after their home exploded. Neighbors called 911 Wednesday night around 7:40 after hearing the loud explosion. This was on State Line Road in Tremont. Firefighters found the home of Wendell and Sandy Hudson engulfed in flames after an apparent blast leveled their home. 76-year-old Sandy Hudson was dead at the scene. Her husband was flown to Tupelo, then taken to the med in Memphis. The state fire marshal's office is investigating. A neighbor who did not want to appear on camera says friends of the couple are in shock tonight.
They were really sweet friends. I've known them my entire life. My family has known them their entire lives. Really, really sweet people. He did my bush hogging for me in the summer. He brought us vegetables. Just beautiful, beautiful couple.
Standard practice, anytime there's a fire-related death, that we call the state fire marshal's office in. So they're here to assist us, and now we're looking at, causes of it.
4 area fire departments helped fight that fire. The explosion was felt, we're told, several miles away.
Two men who risk their life each day are honored for their work. The Amory Rotary Club recognizes its Police Officer and Firefighter of the Year today. Winners are voted on by their co-workers. They are judged on courage, honor, training, working with their peers, and going above the call of duty. The Firefighter of the Year is Lieutenant Donnie Sloan. He has been answering fire calls for 18 years. And Police Officer of the Year is Jacob Rhodes. He has been wearing a badge for 2 years at APD.
It's a great blessing to be able to serve in this capacity, because everyone's not called for this type of work or this line of duty. It takes special people to be called to do this.
Take it step by step, make the right decisions, and just know that whatever decision you make, I know that my department's going to support me, and that is the biggest thing for me, is just having people support you no matter what you do.
Rhodes is originally from Caledonia. This is the 9th year the Rotary Club has presented the awards.
Still some wet weather out there. Live view in downtown Columbus. If you're heading out this evening, well, we do have some rain out there, as you can see right here. Temperatures are currently in the 40s across our region. Winds from the south and southeast in many spots here. So temperatures will be staying in this mid-40 range as we go throughout the evening hours. The steadiest rain now from, let's say, Columbus north into Marion County, Alabama. This continues lifting from southwest to northeast. This whole band will be out of here later this evening. So for tonight, we are looking at the activity going away by midnight. Lows will be down to around 40 degrees. I'm back with your full 7-day forecast coming up.
All right, Keith, thanks a lot. Finding a job and keeping a job are key to a healthy economy. So is getting paid for the work that you do. But SeniorLiving.org reports people who live in Mississippi are still at or near the bottom of their study. Here's what the group found. Unemployment rates are right in the middle at number 25. That means jobs that are available are being filled, and that sounds pretty good. But they also found that the people without a job are having trouble getting one. That's what they call the change in unemployment. Mississippi is 41st there.
And we are at the absolute bottom when it comes to annual wage. Mississippians, on average, are not paid as much as people who live in other states. But the formula that pulls Mississippi's economy down is called the per capita gross domestic product. Well, the gross domestic product, looks at how much each one of us spends. That's the per capita part. Then it looks at how much the state government spends on us, from education to roads. It looks at business investments and the kind of products we make and send to other people, and the products sent to us. After averaging everything on that list, Mississippi ranks 51st. And this matters because all of this affects the quality of life for people who live in Mississippi, and could affect whether or not a new business makes the decision to move to the state. That new business could mean more jobs, and the whole cycle begins again.
Well, speaking of jobs, several groups came together today to help Mississippians find some jobs. The Empower Job Fair brought dozens of folks to the Louisville Community Safe Room today. Economic development organizations in Choctaw, Kemper, Webster, and Winston counties hosted this event. Going back and forth between employers is an advantage for the company and for those job seekers.
It goes back to exposure. For us, it's getting, everything right now is virtual. People can do things online, you can apply online, but sometimes it's good to get that nonverbal, face-to-face interview, because you can get a feel of what somebody has. And also there's opportunities that you may not be able to portray online that the individual employers or employees can either illustrate or basically receive.
A workforce development grant from 4 County Electric Power Association helped to pay for that job fair today.
Yeah, and many people might consider it a day of opportunity for those looking for a job in Winston County.
That's exactly right. Our Bobby Martinez was there for some of that face-to-face meeting, and he joins us in the studio with more on what he found today. Bobby?
Guys, they say first impressions are everything. And today in Louisville, dozens had the opportunity to meet with employers and convince them they are the ones for the job.
Everybody needs jobs. But finding one can be stressful. Job fairs can be much like a first date. Everyone is nervous, they have a lot of questions, and aren't sure what the future holds. Darius Miller says despite those feelings, he's ready to find a steady job.
I feel like it's better on hands because
get to interact and get to really know how to how they feel. You feel what I'm saying? I get to see their body language and how they really coming off. So I feel like it's way better to actually interact with somebody than be online.
It's better face to face because you get to actually see a person and hear, you know, their actual background and things. Instead of being online, you don't know who the person is, what they look like.
Many of the people looking for a job want to find the right fit for their career. They also know they have to bring certain skills to the table. The unemployment rate for Winston County is nearly 6%, and events such like Empower Job Fair show folks in Louisville there are opportunities available.
I feel like it gives the community knowledge and lets them know what's out here, because Louisville is so small, so we don't really know what jobs they have available, so this is a great experience to let everyone know.
After meeting with dozens of companies, it is now a waiting game for Aisha Hall. She hopes this job fair is a step in the right direction.
Hopefully I get some calls back. I'm looking to further my education with the bride, so hopefully I get some calls back.
And to learn about the next job fair, head to our website, wcbi.com. Guys, back to you.
Coming up, the Communiversity has begun its second semester.
And we get a progress report when we come back.
Welcome back. Business and community leaders in West Point get a progress report from the director of EMCC's Communiversity. The Workforce Development Center specializes in equipping workers with the skills they need to land jobs at area employers. And there is a frog in my throat. Courtney Taylor says building partnerships with businesses and exposing students to what workforce training skills are offered is crucial in the success of creating a strong workforce community.
I think one of the biggest problems that we have in workforce development community colleges is that people really don't understand the opportunities that we have, that we can provide. And so the Communiversity helps people see what that can be. It's all the glass on the outside. We have all the glass on the inside, so we can tour kindergartners if we want to, and we can expose them to opportunities that they may not have another way of getting exposed to.
Taylor says they hope to build partnerships with businesses outside the Golden Triangle also.
Lowndes County's new school superintendent wants to build on the district's success. Over the last year, Lowndes County schools made big strides towards student success and earned an A rating. Newly appointed superintendent Sam Allison says he's focused on keeping that momentum going. Allison says keeping an eye on student performance is key to growth. He hopes that will lead to continuing success.
We have to recognize that as a school district, that some kids need more, some kids need different. There's not a one size fits all. At the end of the day, it's all about what can we do to be better? And what can we do to empower the people that are out there, our teachers, our administrators, because those are the ones that you want to support them, because they're the ones that are going to make the differences in kids' lives.
Allison has worked in the school district for over 10 years. A soggy day out there, Keith.
Yeah.
Still wet.
Is that where the frog came from in my throat? All the sogginess.
Maybe it did crawl out of someplace. Hopefully,
I think we found him, though.
The rain will be gone here later this evening, and we are looking at least a few decent days out of the next 7. But we do have some more rain out there this evening, and a few more wet days coming our way too. More on the 7-day next.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
More rain out there today. We are used to it after all the wet days so far this month, and really over the last couple of weeks into last year. Our time lapse from Tupelo shows the rain, the clouds moving across our region today with our Alpha Insurance Camera Network. Rainfall totals over the last 24 hours. The stripe in yellow from about Water Valley to New Albany up towards Corinth. Maybe over 2 inches of rain up in here. Other spots farther south, not as much, but we still have had a significant amount of moisture in the region here, maybe a ½ inch plus from West Point back towards Eupora, and then not as much down to the southeast, including Columbus, Macon, and West Alabama yet, but the rain is moving through right now. So let's show you where the rain is currently at this time. We'll clear some of this data. We do have some showers in Louisville and parts of Knoxville County, just leaving Starkville, moving through the Columbus area right now as we went to break. We showed you the camera. Boy, it's a wet day and wet evening in the Columbus area, Vernon, into parts of eastern Monroe County, into Marion County, Alabama. That is where the rain is currently located as of 6:19. Now, a lot of this will go away later on this evening. Lows will be down into the upper 30s to low 40s here later on. And it looks like our Friday will feature a lot of cloud cover, temperatures in the 40s. Winds from the southwest, breezy at times. Late in the day, we are hopeful that we can clear things out a little bit. So mid-40s to the upper 40s in most spots here. Futurecast is doing a pretty good job for the current situation. We have the rain lined up here across our eastern counties. Notice by 10 o'clock, a lot of that is basically done. There could be some lingering showers or drizzle or mist or something later tonight into tomorrow with the cloud deck. But overall, we don't really expect a lot of moisture tomorrow. Can't rule it out, but more clouds than anything else here during the course of the day with those breezy winds. We're watching that disturbance way out there in the Pacific Northwest. That will give us a chance for a few showers on Sunday. Look at the energy. It will zip on through here Sunday, and then we'll have another one come on down for Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. So a couple more systems coming our way, hence the rain chance, a few showers Sunday, and then maybe some wetter weather as we get into the middle of next week. Futurecast takes this current situation out of here, but the clouds will hold tough, it looks like, tomorrow. High pressure will briefly clear us out a little bit on Saturday, the best day of the weekend, before that second feature there for some showers on Sunday. Here's your AccuWeather 7-day, 40s tomorrow, mostly sunny to partly cloudy Saturday, 53. Showers possible Sunday. I think we're dry Monday, and there's a chance for some showers Tuesday and Wednesday. There's your forecast. We'll have sports coming up next.
WCDI Sports with Tom Ebel is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
Big win last night for Mississippi State men's basketball. 3 straight wins, the latest being the best resume-building win in terms of NCAA tournament talk. Going into Wednesday night, Arkansas was the highest Quadrant 2 win you could get nationally, and the Bulldogs jump up 6 spots in the latest net rankings to 53rd. You want to be around the 40s if you want to start talking about the NCAA tournament. Ben Howland says his team is playing the best it has all season. But with road matchups against Oklahoma and Florida up next, the Dogs are taking it one game at a time.
We're playing good basketball right now, and it's on to the next game, and it's one game at a time. And we've won, the last 3, and obviously we want to go out and continue to improve and grow, and I think we're doing that right now as a team. We want to continue to do it. We can play better than we're playing.
We know every game is a big game. And we know these past 3 games have been a really big game. We didn't want to dig in a hole any bigger than that we dug ourselves in. So just paying close attention to the scout and practice, and just knowing what we got to do to win. And when we got our first win at SEC, we knew exactly what we had to do to continue to win, and we just wanted to build on it. So we're going to try to continue building on it.
Nearly a third of the way through the SEC basketball season. Here are the standings. LSU alone at the top, 6-0. They're the only undefeated team left in SEC men's basketball. Then the hodgepodge, 8 teams separated by 2 wins. Mississippi State back in the middle of that thing, 3-3 record. The Bulldogs' next SEC matchup coming against Florida next week. Oklahoma up next as part of the SEC Big 12 Challenge. 2 games that could really help out with the NCAA tournament resume for Mississippi State. The back half, Ole Miss, the enigma of the SEC, very easily could be one of those 3-2, 2-3 teams if 1 or 2 of those games they've had so far have gone the other way. But the Rebels have a chance to get their first SEC win against Georgia coming up on Saturday. Hail State Hoops with a chance to get back in the win column tonight on the road, taking on Vanderbilt heading into the game. The Bulldogs will feature one of the nation's top defenders. Senior guard Jordan Danbury named to the Naismith Defensive Player of the Year midseason team. Danbury ranks 3rd in the SEC and 19th nationally in steals per game, while scoring 14 points per game for the Bulldogs. Danbury and Mississippi State will take on the Commodores with the late tip tonight at 8 p.m. The game will be on the SEC Network. The talent in women's basketball in Mississippi will continue to be through the roof. The McDonald's All-American teams named for the 2020 season today. Mississippi State signee Madison Hayes becomes the second Bulldog ever to be named a McDonald's All-American, Rakia Jackson being the first. Hayes is the nation's 29th best prospect, according to ESPN. And Ole Miss women's basketball gets its first ever McDonald's All-American in Madison Scott, the nation's 13th best prospect. Ole Miss women's basketball in action right now at last check. Rebels up 18-17 over Auburn. We'll have more on that coming up at 10. And after 16 NFL seasons, Ole Miss legend Eli Manning will retire from the game of football. Manning will go out a two-time Super Bowl winner, winning MVP in both of those games. While at Ole Miss, Manning set 45 single-game season and career passing records, was the #1 overall pick and the Maxwell winner in 2003. Storied career comes to an end.
Yeah. The big debate was today, is he a Hall of Famer?
How much time we got?
How much? Luke says 5 seconds.
That's it. Not enough time to talk about that.
A story for another day.
Right. All right, we'll be right back.
Andre, I think we saw some frogs out there, but hopefully they're staying away from
Maybe they will not be in my throat.
the anchor desk here. It's a wet evening. Just be prepared. The rain goes away later on. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy. A bit of a cool day for us, but the sun returns Saturday.
Yeah, I'm glad about that.
Yeah.
Rain's just hopping out of here.
And it was chilly today with that rain.
Yes, it
Nice
was.
frog pun there, Joey.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll be here all week. All right. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Have a good night.